important issue for the future of the human race than combating climate change. And this is our challenge. And as we all know, it needs to be a team effort. And we have a great team helping us here today. Please join me in thanking the Princeton Police Department. You guys were great all along the march, keeping us safe. Let's also give it up for all the organizations who helped make today's rally possible. DNR Greenway. Sustainable Princeton. Climate Central. The Princeton Public Library. Princeton Marching Forward. And also all the organizations with tables here today. And I want to give a special shout out to the John Witherspoon Middle School Green Team. You guys are great. Let's give And I also want to give a special shout out to the true driver behind today's event, Betsy Sands. Where are you, Betsy? Thank you for bringing us all together today. And we're gathering here today in Princeton in solidarity with the People's Climate March in Washington, D.C., and hundreds of sister marches around the globe, from Juneau, Alaska, to Christchurch, New Zealand, Rio de Janeiro, to Oslo, Norway. Climate change is an international problem, the international problem we face today, and it impacts, the impacts of climate change are being felt all over the world in individual local communities like ours. In the U.S., the past decade has been our hottest on record. In the West, wildfire season now stretches most of the year. In the heartland, we've witnessed the worst droughts in generations. And here in the East, we've been hit as well. The city of Miami now floods routinely at high tide. Here in New Jersey, Hurricane Sandy left the coastline of the Jersey Shore permanently redrawn. This past July, a severe rainstorm caused this plaza we're standing in right now to be completely underwater. Scientists are predicting that 2017 will be one of the worst years for Lyme disease in New Jersey. Warm weather has increased the mice population. There have been reports of people plucking ticks off themselves in February, when normally it would have been way too cold. Governor Jay Inslee of Washington State said, "We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change, and we're also the last generation that can do something about it." We need to stop arguing about whether climate change is real and focus on our energies on stemming the damage and reversing course. This is an international problem, but we all have individually a role to play. The good news is that many of the ways to cut carbon pollution and combat climate change will bring other tangible benefits to our community. Do we want cleaner air? Yes! Do we want healthier bodies? Yes! Do we want more livable communities? Yes! Do we want a bright future for our kids? Yes! Yes, each of us has a role to play, and each of us can make an impact in our individual homes, our neighborhoods, and our town. We can commit together to make the world healthier by making our town healthier. The Princeton Council, and I'm joined here today by two of my colleagues on council, Joe Butler and Tim Quinn. We've made the commitment to begin work on a climate action plan for Princeton. And this plan will define a town-wide goal for reducing carbon emissions. We need your help to make this a community effort and to make our plan a strong one. Please applaud for that. is one of the greatest places in the world to live, and we want, yes. And we want to ensure that our kids and future generations will be able to enjoy it here the way we have. Each of us has a role to play. Do you want a more walkable and bikeable community? Yes. Do you want to reduce landfill waste? Yes. Do you want to shrink your carbon footprint? Yes. Yes. Yes, we can. If you support a more walkable and bikeable Princeton, speak up in support of the Bike Master Plan. Commit to walking or biking for short trips around town. If you want to reduce landfill waste and methane production, join the curbside compost program or commit to composting at home. Sign up for an energy audit of your home to determine how to reduce your energy consumption. Each of us has a role to play, and together we can make a difference. We're asking everyone here today to make a personal commitment and a public pledge to take at least one step this year to reduce your carbon footprint. And you'll see behind me these trees. We have a really great art project. Pick up a ribbon, write your commitment on the ribbon, and put it on one of the trees. And check out the trees, and let's inspire each other today. I also want to encourage you all to stick around after the rally. There will be talks inside the library following this event, and this is a great chance to get educated and to inform yourself more about the issues. I'm proud to be a part of today's walk, and I'm grateful to all of you for representing the positive change that Princeton can achieve. We cannot condemn our children and their children to a future that is beyond their capacity to repair. We need to take action now. There was a big group here last weekend, and I thought one of the most poignant signs was, "The water is rising, and so must we." Thanks, everyone. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Bernadette Woods-Plackey, who's the Chief Meteorologist at Climate Central. Climate Central is based right here in Princeton, and they are an internationally respected news and research organization reporting the scientific facts of climate change, however they fall. They are scrupulously nonpartisan and committed to the truth, which we all need to hear. Please join me in welcoming Bernadette Woods-Plackey.
Wanted to come up. Say hi. So how's everyone doing today? Fantastic. I also want to thank every organization that helped put this together. They worked really hard on this. But most of all, I really want to thank all of you for taking your Saturday and coming out here to elevate your voice and be seen and heard. And that is so critical to moving forward. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. In general. This week, that focus is more on the environment and climate change specifically. And we know that through science, that our seas are rising. We know that our ice is melting. We know that our oceans' chemistries are changing. We also know that we're shifting ecosystems and seasons. And one of the ways most people really experience climate change is through the increase in extreme weather. And for a little background, I am a meteorologist. I spent about 15 years in operational weather before coming over to Climate Central to really hone in on those impacts of how climate change is impacting our weather and impacting all of us through our weather. And so I've been able to see it firsthand. And just here in New Jersey alone, I wanted to call out a couple of specific facts. We know that temperatures are rising. But what that means is in those extremes, those really hot days, starting today and moving into our summer, we average about a week of what we call a danger day. Now that's a National Weather Service. Okay, sorry, can you hear me better now? Yes. All right. So the National Weather Service has a term called a danger day. It's when our heat index hits 105 degrees. That combination of this high moisture like today that is making our hair like this, and the temperature coming together. Now, currently in New Jersey, we average about a week of that. In just about 30 years, the middle of the century, if we continue on this track, that's going to be over a month. About 34 of those days a summer. Now, that sounds awful in its own right, but that really has impacts on our economy and our health. It really ups all the increases for health illnesses, heat strokes. That really has to change how we approach things. From the government perspective, we have to open more cooling centers. We have to prepare more. We have to change lifestyles. We have to rearrange when there's a sports practice or bring that camp inside. So this is real life impact, and that's the course we're headed on in just 30 years. The other thing that's a true hallmark of climate change is an increase of heavy precipitation. I'm sure a lot of you experienced that last night, huh? With the thunderstorms, just a deluge. That is becoming much more common. Just since the turn